Okay, boys. Good afternoon to all of you. We have been discussing and debating upon chapter number 5, chromosomal theory of inheritance. So, in this chapter number 5, inheritance, genetics chapter, particular topic today that we are dealing is chromosomal theory of inheritance. And yesterday, I think we talked about the contribution of two scientists, Walter Sutton and Theodore Boveri, in the year 1902. And basically, the concept that we cover under this is that in every cell there will be a nucleus. In the eukaryotic cell, inside the nucleus there will be chromosomes. Inside the chromosome there will be DNA, and DNA expansion, all of you know, deoxyribonucleic acid, and portion of DNA is gene. Exactly where this gene will be present, that place is called locus, gene locus, plural loci, gene loci. Okay, and this gene locus, if two genes are present very close proximity on the chromosome, during this meiosis, which we discussed yesterday, particularly during this anaphase 1, anaphase 2, if the genes are situated very close, they will go together. If the genes are present on a chromosome with a short distance, then there is a likelihood of linkage, we say. Both the genes are linked together and go to the next generation. That means same characters will be there from parents to offspring or from one generation to another generation. On the other hand, if one gene is present in one place, another gene is present at a distance on a chromosome, okay, then these are not linked together, non-linked groups. Then there is a chance of only one gene going during crossing over. Okay, this way of genes transmitting from one parent to another offspring is via linkage, and that linkage happens because of, thanks to meiosis, crossing over. And to understand this concept better, you should have the background knowledge of meiosis. Yesterday I told you, and particularly prophase 1. Yeah, tell me.
Statement for this chromosome theory of inheritance.
What is the
Statement, clear statement for chromosomal theory.
It is ascertaining or giving evidence to what Mendel proposed. See, Mendel was only theoretical, there was no practical. Like I told you, he himself did not call gene as a gene, instead he called them as factors. Like why Mirabilis jalapa produces red colored flower? The answer was, from Mendel, there were factors inside Mirabilis jalapa plant which made the plant to produce red flowered color, red colored flowers. But as biology students, as science students, we will not accept that. Then the question comes, who has put those factors in that plant? What exactly is factor? Is nitrogen present? Is oxygen present in the factor? You see, all these questions will keep on coming to our mind, isn't it? So through chromosomal theory of inheritance, thanks to these two scientists, Boveri and Sutton, they supported, gave evidence for what Mendel could tell theoretically. This is evidence part of it. I hope I have convinced you.
Yes.
In that gene locus, yesterday we said where exactly the genes will be present. We said gene for eye color, where it is located, gene for enzyme A, gene for cytochrome C, and I said if two chromosomes are in the same size and shape and they are present together, then we said homologous chromosomes. And in human being, I said 23 pairs will be there. 23 pairs. each pair is a homologous except sex chromosomes. So we have got 22 autosomes, 22 pairs, one pair allosome, that is sex chromosome, because X chromosome and Y chromosome, they are not homologous, because all of you know Y chromosome is short one compared to X chromosome, and that is what I am going to show you now. Look at that. Yesterday we have covered this. Chromosomes are vehicles of heredity. Two identical chromosomes form homologous pair. Homologous pairs segregate, means separate, during gamete formation, and the process is showing how they are getting separated. And yesterday I told you focus on this yellow red and orange green. See the combinations in the germ cells in the gametes. And similarly, chromosomes, when they segregate, there is independence. They have got freedom to assert. They can go and combine with any other chromatid. When they are combining with any other chromatid means there is exchange of genes. Genes also automatically have freedom to combine with any other gene. This leads to formation of new genetic combination. Whenever there is a new genetic combination being formed, what happens? New characters will come. So when Mendel took red flowered Mirabilis jalapa crossed with white flowered Mirabilis jalapa or 4 o'clock plant, what happened? He got pink flowers. How is that? Naturally there is a question. The character which is not there in the parents, all of a sudden it has come in the offspring or child. So the question comes, how is that the child is getting new character which is not there in the parents? The answer is this: crossing over, new genetic combination, new gene combination. So when most of the scientists were focusing on plants to explain the Mendel's laws, thanks to this man, he focused on animals, because naturally the question comes, if lot of experiments are done only on plants, people will be tempted to say that maybe all this is happening in plants. What about animals? So to answer that, thanks to this Thomas Hunt Morgan, so this man did many experiments on fruit flies. Look at that, fruit flies. And what is the scientific name of the fruit fly? Drosophila melanogaster. Even you can do at your home the experiments that Morgan has done. What you require is one beaker, glass beaker, and some candles, and whatever wax that you have got in the candles, put the wax in the beaker and just open it, don't cover it, open it, and in just 2 to 3 days you can see lot of fruit flies coming there. And with your common experience, you must have just kept one apple, cut the apple and just keep it exposed. Within seconds you can see a lot of fruit flies coming there. Similarly, banana, keep a banana in front of you, just open a little bit, you can see a lot of flies coming there, fruit flies. So in case you want to do experiment, okay, which you will be doing in our lab also, we will be doing all this, and as a assignment, as a project also you can do. So how Mendel took garden pea for his experimentation, Morgan took fruit fly for his experimentation. So there I said the garden pea biological name you should remember. Normally 1 mark question, Pisum sativum. Similarly, here biological name for fruit fly is Drosophila melanogaster. And why did he select this? Just like Mendel selected pea plant, we gave so many answers. Why did he pick up for his experiment? Garden pea plant? We said 7 contrasting characters are there, easy to grow, anywhere we can grow, like that, isn't it? Similarly, why Morgan selected Drosophila for his experiments? See the answer. they can grow on simple synthetic medium. As I said, you just have some wax with you, start, you can have the Drosophila, number of the thousands of Drosophila you can have. And then lifespan is very, very short, 12 to 14 days. Suppose we want to do an experiment on a human being, how many years we have to do experiment? Minimum 60 to 65 years we have to do. By then the scientist may not be there. Hence, always scientists prefer to conduct experiments on an organism which completes life cycle quickly. So in 12 to 14 days means probably 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, you will come to know right from embryo stage to death stage, what are all the changes that are taking place, isn't it? So it's easy for the scientist to complete the experiment. So
Insect is very much different from humans.
yeah,
Can we say that what this insect is like similar?
this gives a clue. It is not similar because every organism differs in chromosome number. All of you know, diploid number of chromosomes will change. So when the number of chromosomes change, naturally characters also will change. But why Morgan selected this? These are the reasons, and this gave clue. And now Vivek, it's not that experiments are not being done here. Experiments are done even on human beings now. That's called separate human genetics. Okay, that human genetics, what are all the experiments done under biotechnology chapter, we will discuss. At present, we are talking about the experiments that are performed by Morgan, which gave clue for others. What are all the things that will take place? Okay. So first one is they can grow on synthetic medium. As I said, you can also do this experiment in your home. Just have a wax, just one glass funnel you take and keep some wax. Immediately you can see the fruit flies coming, and within 2 weeks they die, maximum 14 days. And breeding can be done throughout the year. This is another advantage. So you can see how many varieties are formed, and hundreds of progenies per mating. You have varieties of offsprings. So different combinations you can select. Male and female flies are easily distinguishable. How to distinguish? Let us see. Look at that. Male is smaller than female. This is how. Male is smaller than female. That's how you distinguish. And it has many types of hereditary variations that can be seen with low power microscope. There is no requirement for high power. Like we said, Mendel picked up garden pea because 7 contrasting characters. Whereas here, look at this. Now I am just making it focus. Now see the varieties that can be observed even under microscope. That too, the what to say, low power magnification. Now focus on the wings. See the color of the wings. I hope you are able to see the color of the wings and structure of the wings. Yeah, color of the wing and structure of the wings. Second, you can see the color of the eyeball. Are you able to see red color, red eyeball, black eyeball?
Yes, sir.
So this is what Morgan said, that even under low power we can observe all this. Not only this, I just gave 2 characters, many are there, number of characters will be there. Okay, and another easy thing is we can distinguish which is a male and which is a female. So look at that. Male has got XY. We said allosomes. X chromosome is long, Y chromosome is short, and it has got a bent position. It is almost reverse L. Reverse L, alphabet L. And what about the female? Look at that. Both XX chromosomes. And see the size. Is stumpy, big fellow. Right? So, more. Yes, please. Okay. Yes, please. Tell me. Talk loudly. Talk loudly.
Sir, they are similar like humans, no sir, human chromosomes, sir.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Correct. Yeah, female will be XX, male will be XY. Okay. And now how new characters are formed? See the explanation. How beautifully he has given Morgan. This is called linkage and recombination. How varieties are formed? Theoretically, we were telling, like I said, red flower crossed with white flower producing a pink flower. Now here you can see the appearance of that. How that pink color flower comes, or how new characters will come. This is the answer. Look at that. If genes, now in a chromosome, there are a pair of genes. He has named it as capital A, capital B, small b. Okay? Right. Now they are together, just now I said. The genes, if the pair of genes are present very close, the distance is very less, then they are tightly linked. Whereas, see the next one, where is the position of gene locus? Capital A, capital B, small b. Or on a single thread, that is chromatid, you see, where is capital A, where is capital B? Lot of distance is there, no?
Far apart.
Far apart. That means they are loosely linked. The linkage is not strong. If that happens, then what will happen? Look at that. Yes.
Crossing over.
Yes, crossing over time. And after crossing over, what happens? Now I want you to focus on first pair, first blue and red. Now just observe capital A gene, capital B, capital C. Now in the next chromatid, small a, small b, small c. Clear? Observed? Now in prophase 1, crossing over takes place, particularly packetine, it starts. Now you can see when crossing over takes place, the two chromatids are
non-sister chromatids.
Yeah. The chromatids are crossing over, taking place. Okay.
If alleles are present closely mixed, there will be no crossing over.
It will be, but both the alleles will go to the next generation. Then no variety will be there. Whatever characters parent is having, same character will go to the child.
Distance will be placed.
Yes, there should be distance. Linkage should be weak. If there is weak linkage and that time crossing over takes place, then varieties will be formed. Now see here, varieties how they are formed. Now third one, you after crossing over, now the chromatids get departed and a new combination is formed. Now I want you to focus on the color. See first one, capital A, capital B, it is blue color like its original parental color. Now next portion, see red color after crossing over. And what is the gene that has come? Small c has come. I hope you are able to observe that. In parental chromatid, it is all blue color. Of course, don't think that there will be blue colored chromatid in the human being or in Drosophila. For our understanding, we are giving colors. Okay. Kadkol. Kadkol, Yadav, don't think that there will be colorful chromosomes inside us.
Yes, sir.
Okay, it is for our understanding, Darshan. We are giving color, we are naming. Even I told you, I gave a warning to you. Don't think that gene A will be there, gene B will be there inside us. For our understanding, we are naming it. Okay, A, B like that. So don't entertain yourself mentally that there will be colorful chromosomes inside us, and inside the chromosome there will be alphabets will be there. So thanks to English department, A, B, C, D. Okay. For our understanding, we are naming it, that's all. Now, focus on the third one. Focus on the third one. After the crossing over, resultant chromatids, are they new compared to parental chromatids?
Different one.
Yeah, different ones. Yes, recombination. Good. Recombinants, these are called, as somebody, I think Kadkol told, recombinants. So in first thread or first chromatid, you can see blue color half and red color half. And in that, capital A, capital B, and what is the variety? Small c has come. Small c has come, see, that is the resultant of crossing over. What about the next thread, next chromatid? Small a, small b, and blue color has come, of course, and what is important is that capital C has come. So this is how new combinations will be formed. And whenever new combination, what is the old combination? Parental combination, capital A, capital B, capital C in one chromatid. What is the new combination? Capital A, capital B, small c. That's variety. And next thread in parental one, small a, small b, small c. And in future or offsprings, small a, small b, capital C. That means the combination of genes are altogether different after the crossing over, and that is the reason varieties are formed. Now look at this. Now I am going to show you one more thing. Look at that. Homologous chromosomes aligned. You are seeing it. Now chromosomes. Yes. But of course, we can express genotypic and phenotypic ratio in Punnett square, not chromosomal crossing over. Chromosomal crossing over we have to depict in this way only. Look at that. Yeah. Now see the product. Are they different compared to first homologous chromosomes? I will make it short so that you can see the difference. Yeah. See the recombinant chromosomes. Are they different from the original ones?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now focus on the color. First chromosome blue color, and tip of that is see red one has come. Red tip has come. And the second one, red colored chromosome parental. Now tip you see in the recombinants, blue has come.
Blue.
Small blue color portion has come. Isn't it? So this is how we say, if the old ones are there, we say recombinant chromatids, and the new ones, see, what do you say? Non-recombinant. So we are talking of, remember, chromatids. So there are two types of chromatids after crossing over. Recombinant chromatids, wherein hybrid, I can say hybrid chromatids. For our easy understanding, I can use the word hybrid chromatids. Non-recombinant ones are original ones only. There is no change in them. New portion of the chromatid has not come. Am I right? It is the old one only as it was. Right? So we have got two recombinant chromatids which are hybrid chromatids. Non-recombinant chromatids are no change chromatids. Am I right, Kadkol?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Which one will give varieties?
Recombinant.
Yes, recombinants. Right? Now we will see the next slide, linkage and recombination. That is, now look at that. He has taken two crosses for our understanding. Right? Let me make it big. Now, two experiments he has done. Cross 1, what Morgan has taken is yellow bodied with white eyed female. And what is the genotype he has taken? Yellow bodied, capital Y, capital Y. White eyed female, capital W, capital W. Why he has taken this capital? How is that he knows that they are dominant?
More population.
That's all. More populations. He has counted, just like Mendel, how Mendel counted the plants and the seeds, flowers. Morgan counted the future generation, F1, F2 generation. And he has crossed with brown-bodied, red-eyed males. So that's a wild type, and he has named it as genotype. He has taken Y plus Y plus W plus W plus. That's one cross he has taken. Second cross that he has taken is white-eyed miniature winged. Okay, miniature means small winged. W, yeah, wild type is locally available one, which is available easily anywhere. That's wild type, right? And other one is the product. It is product of various combinations, right? And the second one is red-eyed large winged. That is again wild type, and the genotype is W plus W plus M plus M plus. So these are the combinations he has taken, and this is how the phenotype also he has checked. Look at that. Miniature wing, white eye, red-eyed. Okay. So he has made the cross in between these two. Okay. And first case I will repeat here. See, it is yellow bodied, white eyed female. Yellow bodied, you can see here, white eyed female. Are you able to see?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's all. Now, after doing these crosses, what are the major findings of Morgan? These are the major findings. Let us see first the major findings. The two genes did not segregate, means the combinants and recombinants, there we talk of. The two genes did not segregate, means did not separate independently, and the F2 ratio deviated from 9:3:3:1 ratio. What is the normal dihybrid ratio cross phenotypic ratio? 9:3:3:1. Now this has got a deviation. It is no more 9:3:3:1. That is what he said. Second, genes were located on X chromosome. Okay, not on Y chromosome. Genes were located on X chromosome. When two genes were situated on the same chromosome, proportion of parental gene combinations was much higher than the non-parental type. This is due to linkage. Just now I told. On a chromosome, gene locus is very close. Two genes are situated very close. Then what happens? The distance between the two genes is very short. Variations are less. That is the thing. So when variations are less, non-parental type is naturally smaller. Parental will be more. Parental will be more. Non-parental will be less. And what is the reason for this? Linkage. Okay. And genes of white eye and yellow body were very tightly linked. See, look at that. Parental linkage. White eye, yellow body were very tightly linked and showed only 1.3% recombination. 1.3 only. Almost 98.7 is something different. Genes of white eye and miniature wing were loosely linked and showed 37.2% recombination. Okay. So white eye, miniature wing has got new varieties, and tightly linked genes show low recombination. Loosely linked genes show high recombination. Why is it so? Because the distance between the pair of genes is very high, very prominent. So when crossing over takes place, obviously law of segregation takes place, separation takes place, and then they have the freedom to combine with any other gene, law of independent assortment. And that is what I said. Chromosomal theory of inheritance is basically to support Mendel's laws. And Mendel did his experiment on theoretical fashion, only based on observation he did. Whereas Morgan is lucky, he has conducted the experiments, he has got some technology, that time microscope at least was available, he was able to see all these varieties of Drosophila. And how this is possible? This is possible because of this combination. Look at that. This is there in your textbook. I think you need to spend some time on that. There is variety of combinations. Look at that parental generation, yellow, white. And since yellow, white, we are taking it as genes capital Y, capital W, capital Y, capital W. And the wild type Y plus, W plus. And when recombination takes place, look at that wild type, yellow, white, and then he has calculated even percentage. When this crossing over took place, how many parental type offsprings were formed, how many recombinants were formed, and he has given the reason why is it so in the gametes.
Purple chromatid.
Yeah, he has purple chromatid is only to differentiate X and Y. Okay, just to differentiate, he has taken.
Has no role in
Yes.
Only X chromatid has alleles.
Yes. That is what he is finding. Only X chromosome has got maximum genes. See, so F1, F2 generation. He has conducted all these experiments, and based on the experiments, he has given the recommendations, and the recommendations are like that. Similarly, he has done both. What you have to do is, after my class, this you draw on a paper. Then only you will understand better. And see the combinations and the recombinations, and how many parental type, how many non-parental type. And when you apply logic, why parental type is more, then you understand that linkage is very tight. Why non-parental type is more, you understand that the genes are located on the chromosome apart, non-linkage groups. So non-linkage groups invariably lead to formation of varieties. And this experiment is followed by one more gentleman, and he is called Alfred Sturtevant. He has again helped our Morgan, in fact. And what is that he has done? He used the recombination between gene pairs for measuring the distance. He has gone one step ahead. Look at that. He has measured the distance between the genes. That is the greatness. After measuring the distance, he has taken the photo. That is called gene mapping. He has taken the photo of that. And after taking the photo, he analyzed. And the greatness of this gentleman is including human beings. And because of his scientific contributions, now there is a new concept that has come into our biology, that is Human Genome Project, HGP we say. That means Human Genome Project will talk about all the genes that are present in our body, all 46 chromosomes, how many genes are there. I think we will talk about this again in biotechnology chapter. There is something like 10,000 genes roughly. And almost 90% of our genes are mapped, means they measured which chromosome, like chromosome pair 1, how many genes are there, what is that is. Chromosome number is given, right from chromosome number 1 to chromosome number 46. They have analyzed how many genes are there, what are the genes present, what is the distance between each gene, and they have taken the photography of that. After that, they analyzed which gene is responsible for what disease, why some people get genetic diseases, why somebody will be very, very healthy, why somebody not eating say a great amount of food also very fat. So sometimes obesity also is linked to genes. And unfortunately, without our mistake, sometimes we suffer with some diseases, some unknown diseases. And worst is incurable diseases like color blindness, isn't it? Sickle cell anemia. Why is it so? It is because of our genes. So Human Genome Project could explain all, but we are still in the process because it is to the tune of 85% done. Still 15% is going on. Unless we complete this Human Genome Project, we will not be able to arrive at some conclusions. Why is it so?
After fitting this Human Genome Project, sir,
Yeah.
we can modify genes also, sir.
Yes. Our focus is next that only. We have to modify. The moment we find some lethal gene present, let us say on 22nd chromosome, and that lethal gene is causing cancer for us, we have to remove that fellow, isn't it? So
Not have any effect.
it will have effect. That will be positive effect, no? Like already in European countries, particularly England is very much ahead with us. They have started using this biotechnology, okay, particularly recombinant DNA technology. We will talk about that in at length when we start chapter number 11 and 12, and wherein stem cell research is picking up. And particularly in England, there is news, a lot of clippings are there, medical journals, wherein the doctors are treating cancer through stem cell technology. So future will be very positive for us. Whatever diseases, unknown diseases, our forefathers suffered, we may not suffer. That is the positive strength for us. And thanks to our biology, we are picking up, and finally we are giving solutions to various diseases for all the human beings. And not only human beings, through stem cell research, we are increasing the number of almost endangered species. Like you take our own Indian tiger, now we are increasing the number of tigers. We are increasing, yes, thanks to stem cell technology. So today's class I am winding it up. Now go through that. I want you to practice this one, the two combinations. Just take on a paper, start drawing the diagram and see where the gene locus is shifting. And you can see why parental and non-parental combinations are less or more. Like in this case, parental type is 98.7%. Recombinant type is only 1.3. Why is it so? So keep practicing, and maybe in tomorrow you may not be having the class because you got your Independence Day quiz. Okay, and I'll see you on Monday. Right? Until then, take care. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, see you.